Today I'm going to show you how to raise a tag in Zaptic. For anyone who's not familiar, a tag is an issue or an improvement idea that can be raised from the shop floor. To raise a tag in Zaptic at any point, I can press the plus button and I can select that I want to complete a tag. The first thing I need to do is I need to localize the tag. And there's a number of ways I can do this. I could do it by searching for the equipment, or I could even do it by scanning a QR code. If your factory has QR codes or barcodes on your equipment, you can upload them to Zaptic, and then you can scan that using the device camera. And today, because I'm working on a filler machine, I'm going to select that as an issue with the filler. I've noticed when working with filler machine that there's actually a leak underneath. So I'm going to report this as a safety issue. I'm going to say this is to do with slips, trips, and falls, and it's high priority. As soon as I say it's high priority, I get a notice telling me that this is going to be automatically escalated to site leadership. It's doing this based on automatic rules that can be created in Zaptic to be able to escalate issues to the right people in real time. The next thing I need to do is I then need to describe the issue. So I'm first going to say that there's a leak on the floor. And I'm then able to add a photo or even videos. So I'm able to provide some multimedia to explain what the issue is. I'm able to then annotate that image to highlight that further. So I'm going to show that there's an issue with the floor. And then finally it's asking me, does this need escalating? And I'm going to say, yes, I need some support. So very quickly, I've entered the information that I need and I'm able to hit done. This has now created a tag. You can see that some actions have been automatically assigned to the safety team and the leadership team. So this is part of automatically escalating this to make sure it gets to the right people in real time. This tag is now visible in a number of different places, and one of those is on the timeline of the filler. So here I can see that there's a leak on the floor. I can also see that there's an issue with a tear in the conveyor belt. So I can see a number of problems that are happening on this equipment. You can see that there's another issue with the conveyor belt and that the CIL was completed recently. And if I want to find what are all the open issues on this equipment, I can go to reports and I can filter. I can say, show me all of the in progress or new issues. This then gives me what I can be working on. So if I've got some spare time and I want to work on some of the open issues, I can immediately access this. And for me as a worker, it also means I've got real-time feedback on what's happening about the issue or the improvement suggestion, which I raised previously. Now, as a team lead, I'm able to see all of the defects that have been created in my area. I can see that there was a tear in the conveyor that's currently being replaced, and there was a resolved issue with a filler machine because the pressure was incorrect. But at the top, I can see a new issue has been raised, saying there's a leak on the floor. I'm able to see when it was submitted, the existing actions that were assigned, and when it's due to be resolved. I can then open this up, and I can see more information about this issue. So here I can see when it was raised and who it was raised by. I can see all of the details within, including any photos or videos that have been added. And now I can actually start resolving the issue. So if I'm unsure how to resolve this, I could tag somebody in a comment. So I might ask staff, what is the right way to resolve this? This means that all communication gets moved into a tracked solution. And that means when the issue is resolved, we're able to look back and see the different steps that were involved in fixing that issue. Once we have an idea on how we're going to actually resolve this, I'm then able to create an action plan. And this is where Zaptic becomes a mini project management tool. So I can create an action, and I'm going to assign it to the maintenance team, and I'm going to ask them to replace the hose. I'm going to set a due date and say this needs to be completed by Friday. As I resolve this, you can see that we're building up a timeline of everything that's happened with this issue. And I'm also able to see all of the outstanding actions. I'm then able to move this to in progress, and that means the person that raised this issue will get immediately notified so that they can know what's happening with the defect that they raised. This is then going to close a feedback loop and encourage people to raise more issues and to resolve issues faster.